Richie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I appreciate you for hopping on. I know got some like I was just telling you in the thread, we got some messages that kind of come out of this that will help the younger generation coming up because I know I personally am one of those guys that was kind of shy to ask questions where now doing this I hear so many answers that of questions I used to have. So
Yeah,
I know there will be plenty of answers or questions answered by you tonight. So,
absolutely.
yeah. All right, man. So let's get this thing started. My name's Tyler Milbert. I'm here with Richie Fecteau, and this is Inside the Mind of an Athlete. All right, Richie. So Trenton Regional High School is where your alma mater is. Uh, it kind of explained to me how your high school career developed and where you kind of thought you had the ability to take your talents and go on to college.
Uh, I noticed from a young age I was able to make solid contact a lot, and I used to practice hitting with my father growing up, and almost every single day. And I just had a knack for hitting the ball and getting hits and not really striking out a lot.
Right.
And as I got older, I got stronger and was able to start putting the balls in the gaps, and then did a couple tryout things for called the Bay State Games up here. You play in front of a bunch of college coaches,
Yeah.
and then from there I got a few college looks, and I've always wanted, coming out of high school, I wanted to play college baseball.
Right.
Uh, wasn't sure what level I was capable of playing at, but then I got an offer from Salem State to go play there. I didn't really get anything higher than that from Division
Right.
Three. Was the highest I got. Came down to Southern Maine, Wheaton, and Salem State, and I chose Salem State.
Awesome. So do you think you had a chip on your shoulder not having those D1, D2 schools reach out to you?
Oh yeah, I definitely did. I was one of the kind of always thought I could play at a higher level, and at that point it's kind of humbling in a way to for them not to look at you and stuff. And then once you figure out that you actually can play the game a little bit, you almost want to kind of rub it in their face a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at this game. I figured out how
Right.
to play it pretty well.
Right.
But
Well,
yeah, it kind of some sort of chip,
yeah.
that's for sure.
I'd definitely say you rubbed it in their face, man, because obviously as this conversation goes on, we'll see where you ended up. So, all right, so you're at Salem State. My boy Ryan Sharp, I know you know him well. He was a senior
Oh
when you
yeah.
were a freshman, and he said right from the get go that was your team. You tore it up from day one. Uh, so kind of going into Salem State, having that chip on your shoulder your freshman year. What's your mindset going into it?
Right when I showed up, I just kind of went in there and just tried to play my own game. Uh, just tried to hit like I always was able to hit, and wasn't sure the amount of success I was going to have, and ended up having a pretty good amount. And when we went down to Florida, I didn't start right away. I didn't play a lot in the beginning of the trip, and eventually I got an opportunity to get in there and play. And my first, I think one of my first hits was off a Division III left-handed All-American. I hit a line drive back up the middle,
Yeah,
and yeah, I think that was my first college hit. Kind of set the
great.
tone.
Yeah, that especially doing it off a lefty because you're a lefty at the plate, so that's got to feel good.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah, it was nice.
for sure. Let me read off some stats for these guys listening. Uh, let's see. So you led Salem State to their most successful 4-year stretch in program history. You guys had 3 Massachusetts State College Athletic Conference championships, and you guys made the NCAA tournament berth 3 out of your 4 years. And they say online that that's the best 4-year stretch that school has been through. So
Oh yeah,
congratulations for that, and I know you were a big part of it.
thank you. Yeah.
We got some more stats here. You played 166 games your Salem State career. You had 615 at-bats, 227 hits, 88 extra base hits, You had 60 walks and 113 ribbies. Add that all together, your career batting average at Salem State was a 369, and your OPS was 1,000, straight across the board. So clearly, you can see there. I've said it in a few of my podcasts. Like, it doesn't matter D3, D2, D1. You're balling regardless. So to have those numbers at any stage is phenomenal.
Yeah. You still got to hit it where they're not.
Right, exactly. Adding on to your personal achievements, a 3-time first team all conference, 2-time ABCA Rawlings all region team, preseason All American, 2-time ECAC first team honors. You were the all-star of the MVP. The all-star game, you were MVP of the FCBL. And as they say, you are one of Salem State's all-time greatest players. So, hearing all that, kind of looking back on your career, how does that feel? Just knowing you accomplished all that.
It feels good. I mean, I did work extremely hard for that. I mean, I would go after games and I'd go back to the cage and go hit more.
Yeah.
I'd always have my father throwing to me. It was every day I'd be back in there hitting. Whether it was before the game or after the game, I always hit extra. I always put in the extra work.
Yeah.
When I could go to the gym, I went to the gym, even if it was 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I put a lot of work into it. It didn't just come easy to me.
Yeah.
But that's part of the process, and that's what made it so much more enjoyable, to know that you worked hard enough to get all that, earned it, and it just wasn't given to me. It was a better feeling.
Right, for sure. And that's great. And like going back to having the chip on your shoulder, you clearly showed you wanted to grind and prove all those naysayers wrong. And clearly you did, because my next step. Oh, actually, before I get to that, I want to talk about Salem State's field, just 100% turf. And when you're walking up, if you think it's dirt, it's not. It's paint, as brown paint going around the infield. Did that have any decision making in when you decided to go there?
I never even thought about it, actually. It never crossed my mind that they had turf. I went there, and it was actually a blessing that they had turf. We were able to play every day.
Right.
It didn't matter what weather. We were always able to get on the field. We would shovel off the field to have practice and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was a blessing to go there and have that type of field.
For sure. As an infielder, so I played outfield, so turf was, unless it was a liner that came down short of you, it was relatively easy because you could read a bounce definitely from a fly ball. But as an infielder, how is the turf infield, all turf, different from a regular infield with grass and dirt?
Yeah, I mean, it's quicker. The ball is definitely a little bit quicker. It skips more, but every hop is true. I mean, you never really get one that just sporadically jumps over your head or over your shoulder. It always stays down. So it actually helps you get into a better fielding position. You're not as weary of the ball bouncing all over the place. You know where it's going to be. You just got to get used to the speed. Or when it's a little bit wet, when it gets a little bit wet, the ball slicks. It's very, very fast when it gets a little bit wet. But
for sure. So did you kind of have that as an advantage when you guys were at your home field?
Yeah, and a lot of them, like even with the outfield, if you had a high fly ball and it didn't get to it in time, it could bounce right over the outfielder's head, and there you go. You got a couple extra bases.
Right, for sure, for sure. So have you ever played at Franklin Pierce?
No, I have not.
Okay, so they got turf in the outfield, and I remember when I played there, I'd hit like a little dribbler, ended up going to the wall, and I got a triple out of it. Any other fields, it's a base hit. Yeah, and it's just like so. I remember my junior all-star or my junior showcase game, which was in front of all the scouts and the best of New Hampshire were there playing. I had 2 triples that game, and all I did was push it right side both times and just rolled to the wall. So instead of my stats saying 2 singles, it said 2 triples. So
hey, you take it, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great day at the field.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, man. So like I said, all your accomplishments, your great 4-year career at Salem State. These guys right here decided to draft you in the 39th round, which was the 1,176 pick. And I think I speak for anyone and everyone that it don't matter what round, what number pick. If you get drafted, your heart's pounding, and
Oh yeah.
and and you made it. Like all your hard work has paid off.
Hmm.
So going through your mind, how did that feel?
It was that whole situation was a very stressful situation. Uh, as I was talking to a couple of different teams, and a couple of them were gonna say certain round, and that round my name never got called. And then it just kind of kept going on. I'm like, man, this is getting real stressful. And eventually that 39th round came, and the scout called me on the phone, and I actually had my brother on FaceTime. I had my parents were with me, and one of my best friend, Matty Abrain, he also played at Salem State with me, was at my house.
All right.
And we had it up on the TV, and when my name got called, they all started going nuts. They started going crazy.
Yeah,
I'm on the phone
absolutely.
trying to figure out what's going on.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, it was an incredible feeling. I mean, it
that's
really was. I
awesome.
was very thankful for everything. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's great, man. Like, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Um, so what's that process like once you got drafted? Because your spring training's out here in Arizona. So did they say, "Hey, get to Arizona now," or how'd that all break down?
I think it was about they gave me about a week. I think what it was. So I got the call and they said, "Yeah, we'll be down in about a week."
Okay.
And then they flew me down there, and I went straight to the complex basically, and uh, went and a couple days later I signed my contract. That was right in front of the big A in the
Yeah.
in the in the facility. It was really neat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
And just knowing that facility and just their complex out here, it's just going to the game. It's like they, this is great. And then
yeah.
when Sharpo calls me up, he says, "Yo, my boy Fecteau is playing out there. Go see him." I was, I'll do anything for Sharpo, so I was there. I was there whenever I could make it. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you're out in Arizona. What? So you're studying high school, studying college, and you're working your butt off. And when you now you get to this facility where you got Mike Trout plays for the Angels, you got these big names, these studs. Um, you're coming in as just a rook. How do you feel? You still got that confidence on you, or you kind of now you're like a little kid, kind of excited and a little nervous?
Yeah, because I was always undersized too. I'm only 5'9". I was
Yeah.
always a smaller guy. And you go in there, and all the pitches are 6'7", 6'5". You're walking along these trees. The guys look like trees in there, and I mean, it took me a little bit to figure out to get comfortable,
Yeah.
kind of settle in and everything like that. After about a week or two, I realized that I can play with these guys. Like I fit in here. I belong. And
Right.
once you get that sense, it's a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of start playing your own game again, and it just feels like
Yeah.
you're playing baseball again.
Right. Right. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
So explain a normal day or a normal week.
yeah. So like day by day, we would get to the facility around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. We Depending on what day it was, if you had a lift that morning, you'd be lifting in the morning. Um, then you'd eat a little breakfast, and then you're pretty much out on the field. I would say by 8 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock, and then you start your whole day. You're out on the field from that time till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you probably play a game that night.
Right.
Uh, that every day. I mean, we did infield, BP, outfield, everything every day. It was just
Jeez.
baseball. It was fantastic.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. That's a dream right there.
yeah, it is.
So regardless if you had a game or not, you're out on the field 8 to 3, and then playing a game a couple hours later.
Yep,
Take
exactly.
take take a shower, get a bite to eat, get back out there.
That's right. Yeah, you
That,
go back in, take a shower, relax for a couple minutes, then get
yeah,
dressed for the game and go play.
crazy,
Yep.
crazy. So let's see. I got the list of the teams you played for while you were out here. You ended up going to the Orem Owls, which was based in Utah. Was it there you had your knee injury?
I actually had my knee injury before that,
Oh,
so
okay.
I had it one morning. Just woke up, my knee wasn't feeling great. I couldn't straighten my leg out all the way, and ended up having to get surgery, and that was actually my second year. So I went to Arizona, and then my second came back for spring training, and my knee was something happened. I don't really know exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
And once I did all my rehab and everything like that, they sent me to Orem, Utah, and that's where I started playing again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. And so from there, you go to the Burlington Bees, which is in Iowa, and then from there, you go to the Inland Empire 66ers, which is in California.
yeah,
So you're bouncing all over the place, which is a good thing because you're
yeah,
going up. And
yeah,
so each team you go to, which is a new level of lower ball for people that don't know, each time is that like a confidence boost going in? So now instead of the kind of I'm nervous, is that kind of like, yeah, I proved myself down there. I'm going to Utah because I deserve to be here. Now I'm going to Iowa and California and so on.
yeah.
Um, Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, yeah, it absolutely is like a little confidence booster. You're like, oh, they recognize that my ability to play the game. They're giving
Yeah.
me an opportunity to go up higher in the system and move up and make more of an impact at
Right.
every level you go to. Yeah,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. Out of those four teams, what was the best? What was the most enjoyable team to play on out of the four?
Out of the four. Well, I was in Orem for about a week, a little over a week. I went there, hit the ball very well, and then then I went to Iowa. But I would say out of those four teams, I think I enjoyed probably Iowa the most.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun playing out there,
Yeah.
and it was really a lot of fun places to play. Travel
Yeah.
was decent. Yeah, played all over the place. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, in Utah, like you said, you were there for a week, and I believe it said like 6 games. You had like 3 dingers and like 6 ribbies or something.
Yeah,
So that's just like it's a quick impact. That's
yeah,
that's something you gotta that's like I feel like even more of a confidence boost. It's like they just sent me here, and a week later they called me and they said, "Hey, you're going to Iowa."
yeah.
That's crazy.
What was crazy in that situation, what happened was I did that in Iowa, and then I got a call. I was getting sent back down to Arizona, and I'm like, oh man, well I thought I was playing pretty good. Like, I thought I was doing all right. So I ended up having to go back to Arizona, back down to what we'd call rookie ball.
Yeah.
Um, and then I remember walking down the hallway, and one of the coaches was like, "Hey, like, what are you doing back here?" I said, "I'm not really sure." I said, "I don't know." He goes, "You won't be here very long." And then
Yeah.
4 days later, I was on a plane to Iowa.
Jeez.
Yeah, they just made me come back down there for a couple of days and head back out.
Just to say hi.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
basically.
Yeah. Um, I'll go over some of your stats because they're impressive, man. 186 games throughout your minor league career, 674 at bats, 177 hits, 57 extra base hits, and you bulked up a little bit because you had 14 dingers,
Yeah,
62 walks, 99 ribbies, a 263 batting average, and a OPS of 738. So to say you didn't do what you went there to do would be a lie because those are great numbers, man. And um, that just a kid from Massachusetts, D3 ball, and just kind of to just look back and be like, yeah, that was me. I did that. I can always reminisce on those memories. That's something special. And I know the guys you played for at Salem State and obviously Trinity, it's or what's your
right,
Triton.
right.
I know
Yeah,
they're all looking at you kind of like, yo, I know that kid, like he's my boy. So that's got to be cool, man. Looking back at that.
oh yeah. I mean, it's something I will always remember, and I'm still like I said before, I'm so thankful for the opportunity that the Angels gave me. Wish I could
Yeah,
still be playing for them, but certain circumstances happen, and but I'm
yeah,
still very thankful for the chance I was given. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, for sure, man. Um, so for young kids that were in your situation, regardless of what college division they're at, um, how do you go about finding an agent to help you out with the process?
Well, I actually didn't get my agent until I was in low A. Um, One of my teammates at the time introduced me to his agent, And my agent at the time his name's Matthew Gaeta. He likes to go after lower drafted people. I mean, lower like late rounders,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of how he does it. Like, and he gets a couple every now and then. He'll get a couple guys in the high rounds or early rounds, and he ended up coming out and said he wanted to be my agent, represent me, and everything like that. So that's how I got an agent.
Okay.
Um, so I'm not too familiar with how it works before. Um, but I'm sure if you could figure out a way to do that,
All right.
I wish I could help you in that one, but
Oh no,
I don't know how that all works before because I got mine, like I said, while I was playing.
right. So
But
your answer is just be a baller and have him find
yeah,
you.
just go rake and they'll find you.
For sure. Uh, what's kind of like a memory, a couple memories you can look back on, whether it be high school, college, or playing with the Angels.
I mean, I'll always remember my just playing in college with all the guys I'm friends with from there and being able to do all the regionals and everything like that. I mean, I'll always remember that. But I think one of my favorite memories of me playing at any level was actually when I was a freshman in high school. I was actually able to play. My brother was a senior, and I was actually able to play with my brother in high school, which is pretty special.
Right.
I was lucky enough to make the varsity team as a freshman and be able to play with him. He's a catcher. He's
Yeah.
a very, very good catcher. Um, but yeah, that was one of my favorites. And actually, when I was out playing in Iowa, probably my all-time favorite memory is he actually came out to see my brother Andrew came out to see me when I was playing in Wisconsin in low A, and he was sitting behind the backstop, and I was on deck getting loose, and I said to my brother, I pointed over to him, I said, I'm going to hit a home run this at bat,
Yeah.
and I walked up to play, and I'm going 0-2 in the count. Then I got a fastball, and I hit it out to right field. And I remember coming back in the dugout, and I looked at him like, yeah, there you go, there it is.
Yeah. When you can call a home run, that's something special. And then when you, like you said, when you got your brother flying out to support you, uh, halfway across the country, and you tell him something like that, and it happens, that's funny, and
Yeah,
that's special.
yeah, it was a very special moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, one thing I want to say before I ask the last question, uh, I was talking to Sharpo today, and I said anything I should bring up, and he said, talk about the time he took a hack at a 3-0 pitch and got kicked out of the game.
I'm trying to remember that one. Who was I? Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember I swung at 3-0. I swung as hard as I could 3-0. Came in the dugout. My coach, it was in college. Our coach was not too happy. I got benched for the rest of the game.
Was it,
He gave me a take sign. I mean, I saw 3-0 and I was like, I'm gonna swing
right?
here.
Was it a cock shot, or you just swinging regardless?
I think I fouled it off. I don't really remember the exact pitch, but I think I fouled it off. I don't think I put it in play. If I did, it was probably weakly hit.
Oh,
I'm sure
that's
if I had
funny.
hit it somewhere in the gap hard, he would have kept me in. But
Yeah.
I found myself on the edge of the bench pretty quick after that.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things to do because you know it's going to be a prime pitch, and your coach is like
Yeah.
taking. You're like, you know I can hit anything they throw, man, and especially when you know what they're throwing that next pitch, it's hard
Yeah.
to take it. So
Oh yeah.
that's funny, man.
Eyes lit up, and I was like, "Oh, this is the one."
For sure. And then and the eyes just stared at the ground the rest of the game, but
That's right.
worth
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
For sure. All right, man. My last question to you. Like I told you before, this is mainly for the younger generation coming up, needing questions, wanting questions, or answers, I should say. What's your advice to younger kids just coming up through high school that are wanting to go to college and eventually maybe wanting to get drafted?
Yeah. I mean, I would say work hard. No matter where you go, they can find you. As long as you make a name for yourself, you go there and play well, play better than everybody else. You know, try to beat everybody else. Try to be the best competitor you can be. You want to be the best. You want to be the best player there. You got to kind of bring that on the field every time you go play. Make sure you're doing the work on and off the field. When you go to the field, you got to play 110% every day. You know, I'm one of those players that plays as hard as I can every single time I step on the field.
Right.
If I'm gonna be there to play, I'm gonna play as hard as I can.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there and not give it 100%. It doesn't make any sense to me to go there and slack off the whole game. I
Right.
mean, I'm going to go there and play. I think the effort and being able to put the work in on and off the field is really what you need to do. And like I said, if you can play, they're going to find you.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you are living proof of that, man.
Yeah.
100% living proof. So, all right, man. I appreciate you once again for joining. It's been great.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Once again, guys, my name's Tyler Milbert here with Richie Fecteau, and this is Inside the Mind of an Athlete. All right, Richie, take care.
Thank you.